We end the week with CBS's Steve Hartman on the road.
Questions, comments, complaints, concerns?
Behind most every great teacher, there's a great teacher, a mentor, who long ago kindled a passion for education.
Yes, say it louder.
For science teacher Clay Morton, that guiding light was Walt Manger.
There was nothing he wouldn't do for his students. He's just one hell of a man, you know. There's my parents, and there's Walt.
Walt was Clay's geology professor in college. He says they stayed close for a while, but eventually lost touch.
Until a few years ago, when Clay learned his old prof had Alzheimer's. The thought of all that genius and gentleness going to waste was more than Clay could bear. So he set out to save as much of his brilliance as possible.
Walter!
The plan was to meet monthly.
How are you?
Here at the high school where Clay teaches in Fayetteville, Arkansas.
He doesn't remember where my room is. He doesn't remember what we talked about last time, but he knows that we do this.
What they do is look at Walt's old geology slides.
Look how flat it is.
In the beginning, Walt could explain each picture in great detail, and Clay would take notes.
I remember you talking about this in general geology. You explained why these people would build these structures way up in the mountains.
Yes.
But now, 3 years on,
Well, who took that picture?
he doesn't even remember taking most of them.
Well, these are really nice pictures. Whoever took these, yeah.
It's so hard to see him, but it's still the best week of the month.
When you get to spend time with him?
Because he's still Walt, you know, he still laughs, he's still funny, he's still willing to help you do anything. Yeah, I can't even imagine where I'd be without Walt.
Which is why Clay plans to continue these sessions for as long as Walt is able, and why he will always end each one with the same words of gratitude.
Almost everything I learned about teaching was from you.
Oh, well, thank you.
And although Walt will soon forget that compliment, Clay says that's actually fine by him.
Walter, it's nice to be able to tell it to him over and over again.
Ah,
Walt and Clay, rock stars of compassion.
you done good.
Steve Hartman, on the road in Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Finally tonight, the story of a young man who can teach us the difference between having sight and having vision. Here's CBS's Steve Hartman on the road.
At a minor league Delaware Bluecoats basketball game,
Rebound goes out to Mintz.
alongside the radio play-by-play announcer, color commentator Alan Wiley calls him as he sees him,
Sloppy play there by the Raptors.
even though he never sees him.
You know, just because somebody may be blind or deaf or whatever disability you want to say, doesn't mean they're not capable of something.
Alan is a freshman sports communications major at Rowan University in New Jersey.
Okay.
His professor, Neil Hartman, says Alan is already one of the top students in the program.
Would a listener even know he's blind?
No, we got emails saying, I do not believe that.
They thought you were lying.
Yeah, they said, like, this can't be true. How can this guy do this?
It's a good question.
Tucker did a great job of recovering off of what should have been an easy dunk.
It really seems like you can see what's happening.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of listening. I listen to the crowd reaction. I listen to the players. I can listen to the coaches. You know, I can hear the ball bouncing from right to left. I can hear it go off the rim. Every sound to me is important. I don't know if you heard, the fans are kind of holding their breath as one.
It also helps that he's been honing these skills pretty much his entire life, listening to games and announcing along. As he got older, he read and researched and memorized, amassing an encyclopedic knowledge of sports. Today, his color commentating skills are so second nature, he can even analyze games playing silently on a screen, like he had to do here when he auditioned for the Bluecoats internship.
Yeah, that time there, Wisconsin had a chance at second chance points, and they took advantage of it. Delaware's going to have to do a better job boxing out.
That got him the gig.
This is a young man that has a future in the business.
You're certain of that?
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
Strip from behind.
Really nice heads-up play there.
Sounds like a good call.
Disrupting what looked like a really nice play.
Steve Hartman, on the road in Glassboro, New Jersey.
In tonight's On the Road, Steve Hartman answers the question, can a man who works in a museum have works in the museum?
At times, Armia Khalil felt like he was whittling his life away. And really, what was he thinking? Immigrating here from Egypt with nothing but $400 in his pocket and a suitcase of sculpting tools.
I was so naive. I didn't have any plan, just got one-way ticket in my dreams.
His dreams of becoming a professional sculptor. It didn't work out. So in 2012, Armia got a job as a security guard at the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York, where he could at least be in the presence of masters, never imagining that one day his work would be here too.
It's unbelievable. That was really a surreal moment for me.
A couple years ago, Armia struck up a conversation with a visitor. At least he thought he was a visitor. Anyway, Armia happened to mention to this guy that he was an artist himself, from Egypt.
When Armia mentioned that he was Egyptian, I asked him if I could see his work. At that point, I revealed my identity.
Achille Tomasino is a curator in the Met's Department of Modern and Contemporary Art. In 2018, he launched a search for the very best examples of art inspired by ancient Egypt.
You looked far and wide, you looked in other countries, spent 6 years.
Yep.
And then you found a piece in your security guard.
Yes, absolutely.
How do you explain that?
Divinely ordained encounter.
Really?
Yes. Several people have told me that they've come to the exhibition just to see your sculpture.
Armia's sculpture, carved out of a single piece of ash wood over the course of 5 months, is part of a major exhibit on display here at the Met for the next couple of weeks.
Thank you so much.
As a result,
can we get a photo with you?
Of course.
Armia is now a celebrity of sorts, the only security guard who guards his own work.
Thank you.
At least for now.
My pleasure. Nice to meet you.
So you might lose him as a security guard.
That is a risk.
But might gain a new master. Steve Hartman, On the Road in New York.
Now Steve Hartman on the road with a couple who got a gift from heaven delivered by an angel on earth.
For as long as they've been married, Ashley and Spencer Toddy of Duck River, Tennessee, have dreamed of raising more than just cows.
Come on, come on.
The 35-year-old former high school teacher and her utility lineman husband both really wanted a family.
I've always wanted to be a mom, and we were diagnosed with unexplained infertility, and we still don't know why.
They had 5 miscarriages. IVF treatments didn't work, and the dream faded.
And that's when Ashley got a message. Now, she believes it was sent from God, but it came through Facebook Messenger. A note from a former student from long ago who'd heard what Ashley and Spencer were going through.
The note read, "If you ever need a surrogate, I'd love to help you become a mom." I hope this isn't weird.
Completely out of the blue.
Out of the blue.
I was like, you know what, at this point, nothing is crazy to me.
27-year-old Hannah Dearman, a mother of 3,
You want some apple?
remembers her old teacher vividly.
She was just so loving and kind, and she's caring. She has a great personality.
So, even though she'd hardly even seen Ashley since graduation, Hannah offered to carry her baby for free.
I needed to fulfill this.
Sophie Lee Toddy is now 7 months old and as happy as they come. A bubbly bundle of proof that good begets good. And often, miracles come to those who deserve them most.
It reassures me that there's a tremendous amount of positivity in the world.
She is so selfless. She's an angel on earth.
Over the years, a lot of teachers have been gifted apples, but only this one got the apple of her eye.
I know, she's not.
Steve Hartman, On the Road in Duck River, Tennessee.
Now, on this Valentine's Day, the story of two lovebirds. It's been nearly 7 decades since he said I do, and she said I do, and all these years later, they still do, every night. Here's Steve Hartman on the road.
In less time than it takes to make a cup of tea,
2 minutes,
I will explain the secret of a long and happy marriage.
there.
As told to me by 94-year-old Don Barnett
Here you go.
and his 93-year-old wife Marilyn of Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
I'll get this done.
Their public displays of affection made possible, they say, by their private nightly ritual.
It's very simple,
Yeah.
and it's very easy to do.
We wouldn't go to sleep without that.
It happens
You want a song?
right before bed.
Sure.
Don sits down beside his bride of 68 years and starts to sing.
Unforgettable, that's what you are. Unforgettable.
I just look forward to it. And he has a beautiful voice.
Of love that clings to me.
They started doing this about 50 years ago.
To me. And I discovered a couple of things. First of all, it pleased her. And secondly, it calmed us. And if we had a disagreement or something before, it was gone by the time we went to sleep.
A magical musical elixir.
Yep, you got it.
That their son Doug says happens without fail.
Whether they're here or in a hotel room or in the hospital.
Doesn't matter. I'm not aware that they ever miss it.
Last
month, Marilyn fell and broke her hip. And sure enough, her nightly serenade continued without skipping a beat.
When you sing to your spouse, she realizes you really care enough to go out of your way rather than just saying, "Good night, honey."
31 across.
This Valentine's weekend, couples will be searching for just the right words to show their love.
Yeah, that works.
But for Don and Marilyn, there's nothing to say.
Unforgettable too.
That can't be sung. Steve Hartman, on the road in Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
If you had the chance to make someone's dream come true, would you do it? Steve Hartman met a young couple who faced that decision, and it turns out it was a slam dunk.
At the diner he owns outside Pittsburgh, David McComb is the decider. No sugarcoating necessary, no getting grilled for the decisions he makes. But in a marriage, as he now knows, you really should consult with your partner.
This is a big decision.
Well, when you marry somebody, you kind of know how they're going to react and know what they're going to do.
No, you have a conversation about
I mean,
it.
there was a reason why all this happened.
Yeah.
We'll settle the argument in a minute. But first, the backstory, which begins an ocean away. In 2021, a young boy from Senegal, West Africa, had dreams of playing basketball in America. The kid, named Ama Sow, posted videos, hoping some private high school in the States would sponsor him. And sure enough, one did.
You left your family in the hopes that you could play basketball?
Yeah, I would do anything for basketball.
Unfortunately, not long after Ama arrived, the school went out of business, leaving that 15-year-old boy homeless and penniless with nowhere to go. And that's when a former staff member here reached out to his old friend David.
I mean, I didn't think if there was anybody else I could take him in. I just said, okay.
Never mind that he already had a full house with 3 kids of his own, David agreed to take in one more without even meeting him.
We could take Alma.
And he says he knew his wife would come around, which she did, almost immediately.
Alma's never seen a dishwasher. He's never taken a hot shower until he came to America. So it grounded everybody.
Ama now attends the local public high school where his basketball dreams are coming true. Next year, he'll play Division I college at the University of Tennessee Martin. But he says the bigger blessing is the second family he scored.
Okay.
But a family gonna be here forever. They're gonna love you forever, gonna help you forever.
Is that what you have here?
Yeah, that's what I have here, I think.
Nicole says he definitely does.
I love him. He's part of our family.
So he did it right.
This time.
Steve Hartman on the road.
It's amazing.
In Pittsburgh.
The way a young boy chose to celebrate one more trip around the sun made the day a whole lot brighter. Here's Steve Hartman with The Birthday Party on the road.
It's the one time of year it's okay to be selfish. When it's your birthday, it's all about you. And kids have been basking in that blessing for as long as we've had candles. But for 9-year-old Grant Mullen of Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, his last party struck a very different tone. Grant's dad, Mark.
Absolutely, yeah. We asked him, what would you like to do for your birthday? Who do you want to invite? You know, what do you want? It just couldn't have been better than what he said.
What he said in a moment.
The most perfect answer ever.
But first, how he came to it. Last year, Mark began volunteering at SNR, a recreation center for people with special needs. Yep. And not long after he started, he got Grant to volunteer as well.
It's so important to get your children involved at a young age. It really makes a huge difference.
Exhibit A, Grant's wish, to invite everyone at SNR to his birthday party.
Why?
Because they don't get invited to birthdays. Sometimes people don't get as much love. And sad.
It's nice to see you changing that.
Thank you. Hey, Crystal?
His party was last September, but they all stopped by again this week at our request.
Would you like something to drink? We have root beer, Sprite, or water.
The parents confirmed that a lot of their kids don't get invited to birthday parties. But as they mingled, it became clear that Grant wasn't just being kind when he sent out those invitations.
Cheers.
He truly wanted them here.
Awesome. Anytime you can, just call my mom and you can come.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay. They are nicer, kinder. They don't get mad all the time.
That feeling is mutual.
He's my best friend.
I just love him. He's my brother.
Grant is an amazing friend.
And with friends like these, who needs presents?
Do you even need to ask him what he wants to do for his 10th birthday?
Probably not.
Bye, Mitch.
Steve Hartman on the road.
Bye, Crystal.
In Coeur d'Alene, Idaho.
Bye, guys.
Steve Hartman is just back from the doctor. His office is on the road.
In one of Baltimore's poorest neighborhoods, we found one of its richest doctors. Rich, not in money. In fact, he's pretty much broke.
Alrighty.
But 66-year-old family doctor Michael Zollicoffer is flush with job satisfaction.
Just love people. I love to see a rash. If you say you got a rash, I'm going to find you because I love a bump on your head. You see what I'm saying to you?
No, not really.
I love a bump.
Has anybody taken your temperature?
No. Let's listen to my sweetie.
That infectious spirit is part of what sets him apart. Another is his prices. Can't pay? That's okay.
You make everything sound so easy.
It is easy. Forget that dollar bill. Now, I'm going to see you no matter what. You walk in that door, you will be seeing you bring your grandma with you. I'm going to see her too. Okay.
But here's what amazed us even more.
Right.
In the nearly 40 years Dr. Z has been practicing,
that one's good.
He's never taken a real vacation.
I think you'll live.
Tells every patient they can call him 24/7, 365.
There you go.
I have his cell phone number.
Does everybody have his cell phone?
Yeah. He's always available.
This guy seems almost unbelievable.
He is unbelievable because you'll never meet another person like him ever.
A superhero, but hardly invincible. A few months ago, Dr. Z was diagnosed with cancer.
So I got 2 separate cancers. One renal, one rectal. But I don't give up.
And to add insult to injury, Dr. Z didn't have insurance. There was a whole series of snafus, but bottom line is he had no way to pay for his radiation treatments. Until
his patients turn the tables on that ever-giving doctor.
I'm like, let's fight. What can we do?
Dr. Z will not give up on you, so we damn sure ain't giving up on him.
Whatever needs to be done to save Dr. Z, we're going to do it collectively.
So, collectively, they started a crowdfunding campaign. Nearly 1,000 people donated, raising more than $100,000. Today, his prognosis is good.
Right.
He got his insurance back and now plans to funnel any money left over back into the community.
Right, open that mouth up. You know what? I'm going to say something that may seem crazy as heck. I'm thankful that I got cancer, because I am the happiest man on the planet, no matter what the outcome. What we have shown and why we sitting in this table right now to show America, this is what you're about. We about giving. I can't make it without them. And nor can they make it without me.
You need each other.
Let this nation hear this story. Let it hear this story.
And let it follow his prescription for a better outcome.
If you need something, you just buzz me, okay?
Steve Hartman, on the road in Baltimore.
Steve Hartman went on the road where some muscle car drivers proved that their most powerful muscle is their heart, powerful enough to lift a kid's spirits.
Sometimes wearing rainbow colors isn't about orientation or politicization. Sometimes a rainbow is just a rainbow. Like when 10-year-old Hunter Blankenship picked out his glasses. This car-loving autistic boy wasn't making a statement. He just loved the look. Until the day he didn't.
He hated them. He wanted to break them.
And that's all because of that one bully.
Megan Fancher,
unfortunately,
is Hunter's mom. And she says a few months ago, Hunter was outside playing when an older kid teased him about his glasses, called him a homophobic slur, and then told Hunter he should just kill himself.
Hunter took that literally.
Literally. All of a sudden, he stormed off, and he's holding a knife. And I was like, no, what are you doing? He said, I'm going to kill myself.
Hunter spent the next 2 weeks on the psychiatric floor
Here at the Children's Hospital in Birmingham. And just before his release, his mother, desperate for some way to show Hunter that people care and life can be joyful, posted this small request.
Could we arrange a few people to bring cars and trucks to let him see?
See if I can get 4 or 5 cars to just come down my driveway when he comes home. That would have been more than enough for him.
But that's not what you got.
That is not what we got.
What they got was Sergio Sanchez, a local restaurant owner here in Clanton, Alabama, who saw the post and put word out to car clubs.
Cars all the way from North Alabama to South Alabama, they literally had to shut down downtown.
They shut down downtown?
Yes.
Roughly 1,500 show cars showed up, along with more than 1,500 friends that Hunter never knew he had.
He was, oh, there's my favorite person, there's my other favorite person. We're running to everybody.
And all of them big fans of rainbow-colored glasses, which Hunter now wears proudly.
There you go.
Thanks to that gathering of car collectors driven to make a difference.
It did. It saved his life.
Steve Hartman, on the road in Clanton, Alabama.
Now Steve Hartman with some magical keys opening the door to a special kind of joy.
Cheryl Johnson.
You get the cream?
And her sportscaster husband, Ernie.
Which one's the cream, Cheryl?
Say they've had a blessed life. And as we first reported last year, they credit that to a decision they made back in 1991. That's when the Johnsons adopted this little boy from a Romanian orphanage and brought him home to Atlanta. Michael had Duchenne muscular dystrophy, an incurable disease. He also developed a feverish passion for car keys and key fobs. He used to go around to dealerships with his dad and ask if they had any extras.
He would hold them in his lap, and he would just want different ones on different days. And when he got sicker and he got on the ventilator, he even talked about the car that Jesus drives. And if you need to know, Jesus drives a red Silverado.
At the age of 33, Michael left in that bright red Chevy, leaving his parents along the side of the road, clutching photos and that extensive collection, which they have cherished.
And I know it's not him, but he held them, he loved them.
Yeah, because I have to have that memory.
Which is why Ernie and Cheryl plan to hold on to that quirky collection forever. Until last year, on the 3rd anniversary of Michael's death, when Cheryl saw a Facebook post.
The message was from another mom in the neighborhood looking for car keys and key fobs for her son, who loves to collect.
Hi-yo!
This is that boy.
I'm Cooper.
I'm Steve. Nice to meet you.
6-year-old Cooper Kivett has a developmental disorder called Williams syndrome and about a couple dozen key fobs.
There's something special to him.
Because that's just something you can't go to the store and buy.
Parents, John and Brittany, were hoping for 1 or 2 fobs for Cooper's birthday, but that's not what they got.
I just couldn't even believe it.
Michael's collection that was so near and dear to his parents suddenly didn't feel like it belonged to them at all.
I know this is Michael wanting Cooper to have them.
Cooper? Whoa.
After we first told this story, viewers from across the country followed the Johnsons' lead.
What do you say?
People were asking us if they could send us keys that were special to them.
Jaguar.
Cooper got some really fancy fobs.
I wanted that.
But for his parents, the most prized ones will always be these. The ones from the Johnsons, who showed that although there's no right way to mourn a child, giving to others is key.
Thank you so much.
Steve Hartman, On the Road, near Atlanta.
It's not a bird, it's a plain old kid with a special talent. Here's Steve Hartman.
That is not a blue jay you're hearing, not a robin, nor a tufted titmouse. Those sounds are all coming from a Samuel, an 11-year-old Samuel Henderson.
I actually quite enjoy this.
Samuel, who is autistic and has Tourette's syndrome, can perfectly imitate 50 birds.
What's the hardest bird to do?
Probably the barn swallow.
How's that go? Do you ever think you might be a bird?
Yeah. Some people say that I swallowed birds.
But you haven't swallowed any birds.
No, well, chickens.
Okay.
The kid is a born entertainer.
Because we eat chicken.
Yeah, I know, I got it.
But since he mostly practiced his calls on the playground, alone along the back fence, a lot of kids at his Choctaw, Oklahoma school hadn't ever heard.
Until the annual Nakoma Park Intermediate School Talent Show. Samuel really wanted to compete, but no kid from special ed had ever participated. And this would be mostly singing and dancing and band instruments. So bird sounds? His mother was nervous.
Some kids can be mean. And
the thought of that happening to him on stage in front of the whole school.
It would just break my heart if that were to have happened.
But Lori says his teacher convinced her that Samuel needed to spread his wings, so to speak. So he took to the stage. At first, the other kids didn't know what to think.
It really sounded like there was a bird in the building.
Exactly like.
I was like, what is this?
This is a bald eagle.
But as he continued and laid his passion bare, jaws dropped. The crowd came alive, and Samuel was not only accepted, he was admired.
He's really brave. It takes like a lot of courage to get yourself up there. He aced it. I don't think I saw one single kid like not clapping their hands.
The kids are roaring. I was so happy to see him living his dreams. My heart just exploded.
It's been almost a year since that talent show. And guess who now rocks the playground? Samuel. That's who.
Everyone here can do a peacock. It goes like this.
Now that's something to crow about. Steve Hartman, on the road in Choctaw, Oklahoma.
Who gets any joy out of paying bills? The woman Steve Hartman met on the road.
It all started when Melody Morrow of New York City hurt her foot and needed physical therapy. It helped. But as we first reported in 2023, what really made her feel better was paying the bills.
You asked for a receipt.
Correct.
And it comes in the mail.
Correct.
And what was special about it?
On the envelope, on the front of the envelope, it had these little music notes.
Well, her name is Melody. But this is a big health system. Personal touches on billing statements aren't typically their thing.
And then it began.
Every month thereafter, her payment receipt arrived in the mail. And every month, a new drawing. They started out simple, like this treble clef. But as the months progressed, the envelopes got more and more elaborate. And this was original art, created anonymously just for her.
It's hard to even describe. It was incredible.
Melody did call her provider, MJHS Health System,
and asked if by chance there was anyone in the billing department who was artistic. She says the phone got quiet, and then she heard, "Hey, Emily, it's for you."
I'm like, uh-oh, what I do now?
What were you hoping was going to come from this?
I like to make people happy.
Accounting clerk Emily Margolis is hardly a frontline caregiver, but she says she can still make people better, and her drawings are her way. Melody was so grateful, Emily decided to ramp up her game even further. She began taking Melody's mailings home at night and spent hours turning those plain white business envelopes into masterpieces.
Then I started adding rhinestones. I know, I got involved with the gold leaf. That was fun. I'd never done that before. Yeah.
Where was this going to stop?
I know how much she had left to pay.
It's been a couple years since we first told this story. Melody is all paid up.
Hello.
The two are now good friends, and Emily has started getting mail of her own from school kids, grateful for the example she has set. There was also an exhibit at a Manhattan coffee shop, showcasing Emily's enveloping creations and highlighting the healing power of her kindness.
This was a stranger, and she was doing that just for me. And that's the beauty of it.
A melody for us all to sing. Steve Hartman, on the road in New York.
We take you now to America's heartland and what's become a popular landmark in Iowa. In what was once an area to feed cattle, the seed of a dream was planted, and my, how it has grown. Steve Hartman paid another visit on the road.
For as long as he can remember, Mark Kewen has been working the family farm in Charles City, Iowa. And as we first reported in 2017, that is why, as a kid, to escape, he used to listen to a ham radio.
Beautiful backhand on the line.
And one day, he stumbled on a BBC broadcast from this funny-sounding place called Wimbledon, of this crazy-scoring sport called tennis.
By 3 sets to 1. We didn't understand it. Why did it go to 15 and then 30 and then 40? You know, and love.
That was the beginning of his now lifelong obsession with grass court tennis that culminated in 2003 when he replaced his cattle feedlot with a replica of Wimbledon's center court. Took him a year and a half to construct, got an internship at Wimbledon to learn how to maintain it, and then for the longest time he just cut the grass. But as sometimes happens when an Iowa farmer builds a field of dreams, people came. These kids are from Iowa and Minnesota, here to compete in an invitational tournament. And that's umpire Baron Whittet, also from Minnesota.
And when I found that there's a place in the middle of Iowa in a cornfield, it's like, get in the car, you know? So I came down as fast as I could.
They'll come from anywhere and everywhere, and they'll come at all times of the night.
Does it make you wish you hadn't built it?
Never. No. Great to have you play here. You're very welcome. Nice.
It's been 8 years since we first told this story. Folks have now flocked here from 49 states and 8 countries. Even professionals, like women's Grand Slam champion Madison Keys, visited. And Mark has let them all play for free. But he's now 74, has Parkinson's, and says it's getting hard to keep this up.
We just want to sustain it into the future.
How are you going to do that?
Well, we have a foundation, and we're working on that.
Mark says he's confident he'll find someone, some way to keep this going. Feels he has to, because when a slice of heaven appears in an Iowa field, you don't sell. You just wait for the angels to show up. Steve Hartman, on the road, in Charles City, Iowa.
When Cardinal Bergoglio was elected Pope here 12 years ago, he took the name Francis after Francis of Assisi because of the saint's devotion to the poor, a devotion shared by the Pope and by the chef Steve Hartman met on the road.
Back in 2017, when Bruno Serrato returned to his White House restaurant in Anaheim, California, after it had burned in a fire, there was virtually nothing left worth saving, except this crucifix, gifted from Pope Francis himself and found by a firefighter, glistening in the ash.
Here it come up. I was like, no way. This is a sign of God, for sure. There's no doubt about it. Buon appetito. Enjoy your dinner.
I'd first met Bruno 7 years earlier. The Italian immigrant was serving meals to the rich and famous.
Are you hungry?
Just so he could feed the down and out.
It's yours.
Using the proceeds from his restaurant, Bruno treated the kids at the local Boys and Girls Club to a fine dining experience. Every night he did this. Later, he expanded his charity.
Is it cool?
To feed and house the homeless. Over the years, he has helped hundreds of thousands of people. And Bruno says what has kept him going through the fire, the rebuilding, and all the financial strain was Pope Francis, who he met 4 times. On the last visit, Pope Francis told him this.
Bravo, bravo, continua così. That means keep doing what you do. Here I am, open up, and doing more and more than what I ever done before in my entire life.
The legacy of any leader, whether pope or president, preacher or teacher, is measured not just by what they do, but rather who they inspire. Pope Francis made the poor his priority. And here in America, in this man, that legacy will live on.
Yeah, I have to keep doing what I'm doing. If I don't, it come down.
Steve Hartman, CBS News, on the road.
There's an old proverb about neighbors helping neighbors that goes, many hands make light work. But how would that apply to getting through a mountain of books? Here's Steve Hartman on the road.
In Chelsea, Michigan, the local bookstore has quite a story of its own.
I'm bringing this out.
A story that began when Michelle Tuplin, owner of Serendipity Books, decided to relocate her business to a larger space.
I knew it was going to be great.
But you didn't know how you were going to get the books over.
No, the actual logistics, the details, not so much.
And she had 9,000 books. Of course, she could have carried them all, but have you ever tried moving book boxes? Good luck lifting anything after. She could have hired a hero with a truck, but that was cost prohibitive. So how then did she hope to move all these volumes to their new homes? Like this. Like a bucket brigade, but with books instead.
At this point, you should know, it's not like she was moving next door. Follow me. The new location was down the block, then around the corner, down another 200 feet, past 10 other storefronts to here. Making it work would require a good chunk of the town to volunteer.
Well, that was the math thing that I never quite figured out. So I thought, okay, well, we'll just ask for help, cross our fingers and hope for the best.
with no idea how many people would show up.
No.
And so it was, with that blind faith, that Michelle showed up to move her bookstore last month and found this. Enough volunteers to stretch the whole way twice. 2 lines made up of more than 300 volunteers.
It was overwhelming.
For those of us who can't even get close friends to help us move, this defies logic. But folks in Chelsea say they were craving something that day. Community. In our divided country, here was a gathering, neither rally nor protest.
I just felt uplifted.
It just made you feel good.
Such a happy atmosphere.
All generations, all together working towards something.
And exactly what life, I think, should be.
As for Michelle, she says it completely restored her faith in humanity.
I think there's a basic trust that people are generally good, and that was massively emotional.
Does all this make you want to move again?
Oh, I'm never moving again.
So, no sequel.
This is our forever home.
But still,
Now we're talking.
a literary masterpiece. Steve Hartman, On the Road,
There we go.
in Chelsea, Michigan.
Henry David Thoreau wrote that the only remedy for love is to love more. Steve Hartman found proof on the road.
I've never been one to air a person's dirty laundry. But in the case of Carrie Cox of Culloden, West Virginia, the sheer volume of her daily load speaks volumes about her capacity for love.
Just has an amazing heart. She's like Mother Teresa almost.
My mom does 99.9% of the work. My dad does 0.1.
A gross exaggeration, for sure.
Put that somewhere.
But even Bill admits that without Carrie, this family of mostly adopted children, many with special needs, would fall to pieces.
You want to eat more? It's good.
This is the story of what keeps her going, what almost made her stop, and the child who changed everything. 13 years ago, Carrie and Bill adopted Mary Beth from China.
Very high functioning autism, extremely black and white. The first time she saw me, she said, "Oh, I didn't know I was getting a fat mom." That was our relationship with each other, and it was actually phenomenal.
And Mary Beth was doing great.
Was valedictorian of her class. She had won tons of math awards.
Until tragedy struck.
It was 2021. Mary Beth was a senior here at Marshall University in Huntington, West Virginia, when she got hit by a car and died. For Carrie, the pain of losing a kid, especially like that, convinced her to never adopt again.
Why put yourself through that anymore? You know, I mean, honestly, like people that don't have children don't have to feel this pain, you know?
The pain outweighed the joy.
Yeah, that's what we thought.
What changed?
Mary Beth changed us. She changed us.
From the grave, she changed them. When going through her things, Carrie found a journal where Mary Beth, who'd never been effusive with her feelings, wrote this to herself. God gave you what many may never have, a loving family that will always be here, no matter what.
Love you, Marty.
Since reading that, Carrie and Bill have taken in 4 more children, to make 14 total.
Their need was greater than my pain.
Their need was greater than her pain. That's the essence of a mother's instinct, that unwavering selflessness that goes beyond the biological.
Mom didn't give birth to me.
I didn't.
To create something truly divine.
I'm still your kid, though.
You are.
Steve Hartman, On the Road, in Culloden, West Virginia.
You want to eat more?
It is just 2 syllables long, yet it can be the hardest word for a kid to say, goodbye. But take a lesson from the kid Steve Hartman met on the road. The pain of goodbye can be overcome with joy.
The giggles are slowly returning to the Shopper family of Charlotte, North Carolina, 2 months after the saddest moment of their young lives.
Turtle.
The loss of their dog, Turtle.
You're mad at life. You're mad at God for allowing that, right? He was more than just a pet. He was family.
Clay, Ruby, and Maeve adored that dog. He was their pillow and comforter, their forever photobomb and omnipresent smile maker. Which is why, when he died from a spinal condition, the kids asked their mom, Nikki, if there was anything they could do to stop their pain.
And I didn't have anything to say, you know, because when you're in it, when you're really deep in it, it feels like it will never end.
For many kids, losing a pet is grief 101, their first taste of that most bitter heartache. And although there is no one right way to process grief, when Turtle died, these kids thought the most important thing would be to not grieve alone.
So they planned a celebration of life and invited all their neighbors, both two-legged and four.
So we just decided that that could help us. Yeah, he wrote, "Dogs welcome, humans tolerated."
On the invitations, yeah.
Because just sitting in a house with no dogs or anything, just sitting there, it's not that fun.
The service was back in March. There were dogs, lots of dogs, and of course, a eulogy.
As much as I know it hurts us all, we have to remember that he is in a better place now.
It helped them feel like they weren't alone in the pain.
A month later, the kids now have a new puppy named Cody and a message for any child or adult struggling with the loss of any pet or person.
Don't try to ignore the pain. Try to bring in the pain full force. Because if you keep those emotions locked up inside, those emotions never go away. You just have to let it go.
Good advice from a kid already wise beyond his dog years. Steve Hartman, on the road in Charlotte.
There are many reasons why people might pursue a college degree later in life, including career growth or simply a thirst for knowledge. Steve Hartman is on the road tonight with a story of a recent graduate who was inspired by the desire to honor.
79-year-old Linwood Riddick of New York could have spent his golden years here in Somerville, South Carolina, tickling the ivories or whatever else tickled his fancy. But instead, this retired shop owner has spent the last 6 years poring over textbooks and dragging himself to class here at South Carolina State University in Orangeburg, relentless in his pursuit of a college education.
I just stepped on the accelerator and didn't stop. I was determined to complete what I started.
To understand why it mattered so, you need to go back to 1968. Protests against segregation were erupting across the country, one of the deadliest at South Carolina State, where 3 unarmed black students were shot and killed by police in what became known as the Orangeburg Massacre.
Like many of us, Linwood Riddick had never heard of the Orangeburg Massacre until a few years ago when he stumbled on this campus memorial. And he says he knew right then what he had to do.
I said, you know, I'm coming here. I'm coming here.
Why?
Because I want to put my contributions to their sacrifice. That when I get my degree, it's going to be in their name.
In his mind, he was completing their mission.
University President Alexander Conyers.
He started here in 2019 with 0 credits, you know, driving from Somerville every day, which is almost an hour, to class and back home.
That patience and persistence earned him a bachelor's degree in music industry.
Linwood James Riddick.
Earlier this month, he walked across the stage to a standing ovation. But the more important walk was yet to come. One done alone, without any pomp or circumstance.
I've been here 6 years. We connected. With me graduating, you graduated. Thank you, brothers.
And with that, Linwood Riddick's mission was complete. And although it started as a symbolic gesture, President Conyers says it'll have a very real impact.
Mr. Riddick has brought this back to the forefront for this university, for this community, for this state, to remind us of our solemn duty to never forget.
Bachelor's in Music, Master of History. Steve Hartman, on the road, in Orangeburg, South Carolina.
Now the story of a young boy facing the biggest challenge of his life. Steve Hartman met him on the road.
When Stephanie Peabody started looking through the security footage taken from her garage camera in Strasburg, Colorado, she was trying to piece together what exactly happened that February night. Eventually, she not only found the answer, she found the surprise of a lifetime.
I was so proud of him.
It all started when Stephanie and her husband left their toddler son, named Bridger, with his great-grandma, 78-year-old Sharon Lewis.
Do you love it?
Yeah.
Bridger and his grandma were walking into the house when Sharon tripped and hit her head on the concrete step. She couldn't get up. She was bleeding profusely, and she'd left her phone in the car.
We tried hollering for the neighbor.
Neighbors!
It didn't work, and he said, Gigi, they don't hear us. I says, I know, so you're gonna have to go get my phone.
It was nighttime, and the path back to the car wasn't lit. Total darkness.
And you were a little afraid?
I was a lot afraid.
Why?
It's too dark.
The dark is just a frightful thing for a little guy.
That's when 3-year-old Bridger whispered to himself these 3 little words.
Don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid.
Now you should know, Bridger had never even opened a car door, let alone face such a life-and-death challenge.
Yes.
Until darkness defeated. It's been 3 months since that accident. Sharon has healed, and new lights have been installed in the backyard. But perhaps the most significant change has been the family's new fearless attitudes.
I am getting my special education license.
Because of this?
Yeah. It's something that I've always wanted to do, but now it's like taking the chance to do it. Don't be afraid. I have it tattooed on my arm.
Sounds like you learned something from your 3-year-old.
Yeah, I did.
Don't be afraid.
A reminder for the child inside us all that true courage is being afraid and charging into the darkness anyway. Steve Hartman, on the road in Strasburg, Colorado.
Now Steve Hartman on the road with his best friend, but not at first.
No parent has a favorite child, but my kids are convinced that I do.
Ready.
And they have a point.
Good girl. I'm so proud of you.
I adore Birdie. Although, as my wife Andrea loves to remind me, getting the dog wasn't exactly my idea.
He did not want the responsibility.
That's
he did
true.
not want the hassle.
Yep.
He did not want the money.
Okay.
He felt like our lives were full already.
They got the idea.
Everything was going to fall on him.
Point made.
And I just decided that I was going to do it by myself.
She went rogue and got this Australian Labradoodle. I didn't touch the beast for weeks.
And he was kind of just like being critical.
But eventually the bond between him and the dog strengthened.
But didn't want to let any of us know that because of his pride.
Yeah.
All true. It's embarrassing to admit now, especially to her face. But I take comfort in knowing that I am far from alone.
Not long ago, we put out a call on Facebook looking for other formerly reluctant dog dads. We got hundreds of replies about guys who fought getting a dog tooth and nail.
We had a new house that had hardwood floors.
We had white carpet.
Can't really take them with you on vacation.
Just really kind of a nuisance.
But, like me, each one had a profound conversion.
He kind of stole my heart. We go everywhere together.
Definitely the best thing that ever could have happened, that's for sure.
Men do have soft hearts. It's just sometimes it takes a fur ball to crack through that hard-headed, practical outer layer. Dogs can do that. In fact, it's one of their best tricks.
It's almost like dogs know who they have to win over.
I hope that this piece encourages all the dads out there on the fence about getting a dog to listen to their wife.
Mm-hmm. Good suggestion, guys. Otherwise, one day, you may be forced to do the unthinkable.
I had to say, I'm sorry. You're right.
I hate to admit it, but she was right.
I'd have to say she was right.
And I suppose I should now join that chorus and tell my wife I was wrong. But this isn't Mother's Day. Steve Hartman, on the road with my loving family.
Steve Hartman went on the road and found himself traveling in a circle.
Gene Eister is a retired police lieutenant in South Bend, Indiana, and he says he can't drive past this apartment complex without reliving that day.
That was one of the strangest calls I think I've ever had. We have a found baby in a box. Yeah, you always wonder, what happened.
As we first reported last year, Gene found a newborn abandoned in a common hallway. It was 25 years ago, just before Christmas. And for Gene, the case of that baby boy Doe, swaddled in cardboard and blankets, didn't end after the child got to the hospital.
No, I went back with a teddy bear. Just a symbol. Let everyone that walked past know that he was cared about.
And you never forgot?
Nope. None of it.
For more than 2 decades, he wondered what became of this boy. Unfortunately, records were sealed, so there was no way to find out.
Until Gene got a phone call from a fellow officer. Guy said, remember that case, the baby left in the cardboard box? Well, you're not going to believe this.
And I thought, well, what? And he says, he's sitting next to me. I said, he's what? He's my rookie.
Meet Officer Matthew Hegedus Stewart. After his rescue, Matt was placed for adoption. He always knew he'd been left in a box, but only connected the dots to Gene after joining the department. Today, he wears the same uniform Gene did and patrols the exact same neighborhood.
Full circle moment. That hit home. I can only imagine from his point of view.
What it means?
Yeah.
He really can't imagine.
How you been? Good, how are you?
Because what to Matt may feel like coincidence, to Gene feels divined. Their reunion, this new friendship, it all happened just a few months after Gene's only son, Nick, died unexpectedly at the age of 36.
So the timing couldn't have been any better to help fill a void that I've had to deal with.
It's been more than a year now since we first told this story. The two remain close, and Matt is now a father himself. His boy, August, was born last summer. And guess who brought him that teddy bear? Circle complete. Steve Hartman, on the road, in South Bend, Indiana.
Graduation season is winding down, and tonight we have the story of a graduate from Wisconsin who closed a chapter of her life with an extraordinary act of kindness. Here's Steve Hartman on the road.
According to many of her senior classmates here at Waunakee High School in Wisconsin, 18-year-old Molly Schaefer was a loner.
Haven't talked to her in years. We've never hung out.
Not a lot of kids did hang out with her.
That wasn't always the case. Back in elementary and middle school, before her social anxiety kicked in, Molly says she was much more engaging.
There was a connection there at some point.
And it was gone now.
Yeah. And I don't know, I really wanted to just talk to them again or be seen again.
That longing for connection is a common high school lament.
But what's really interesting is Molly didn't blame those kids. She didn't sulk and say, no one likes me. Instead, she took it upon herself to reconnect in a most unusual way.
Just about every day, for hours a day, Molly would climb to a loft in her garage and try to paint her way out of her isolation by painting portraits of all those kids she used to know.
The time and effort is incredible.
She did 44 paintings.
It's truly unbelievable is what it is.
Put in about 13 hours each.
I was so touched.
600 hours total.
It's one of the coolest things I've ever seen someone do, especially for someone you aren't that close with.
Then, at the end of the year, she presented them to the students to keep. Of course, the reviews were rave, but the paintings also evoked some remorse.
All of us probably feel a little regret not paying more attention.
We did have that friendship, and I didn't put forth the work to keep it.
I wish I would have made more relationships with some kids that I didn't talk with.
Molly says the feeling is mutual and hopes other kids and adults will learn from this.
You can't go through life thinking that you don't have friends because they don't like you, because that's not the case. People aren't thinking that hard about you. Like, it's all in your head. You just have to try.
A masterpiece of friendly advice. Steve Hartman on the road in Waunakee, Wisconsin.
This is a day to celebrate American bravery, resilience, the ideals of freedom and independence. It is also a moment for us to come together, united as one. Here's Steve Hartman on the road.
How do you define patriotism in our now bitterly divided nation? Is it praise or protest? Is it a clenched fist or a helping hand? Definitions vary. But tonight I have an example I think we can all agree on. A story I first told back in 2022 at the annual All-State Chorus in Louisville, Kentucky. Every year, 600 of Kentucky's best high school singers gather at the convention center to practice and perform.
It can get a little noisy.
But it's what happens back at the hotel that brought me here. A special performance, now in its 38th year.
Back in 1987, late one night, a small group of kids, still wired from practice, gathered along the balcony here.
Everybody's chatting away, waving hi to each other.
Choir director Brett Burton was a student at the time.
There's just certain things that happen in life that leave a memory on you.
And this is one of them.
It was just something amazing.
Today, the same wonder unfolds in much the same way. The waving, the ruckus, and then, out of nowhere, the hum.
Someone sings a pitch.
It can be anyone from anywhere.
Once one person starts, everyone wants to be a part of it.
And eventually the entire hotel catches on.
And then you're singing the national anthem.
Some say it's the acoustics here at the Hyatt Regency. Others, the sheer volume of talent. But whatever the reason, one thing is clear, that this is patriotism.
It's like a cylinder of sound.
It's all around you.
So surreal.
It's...
And it's completely organic. There's no planning or adult direction. This is all kids from all walks of life who every year make it a priority to fill this hotel atrium with a riveting reminder that we are not a nation of soloists, but a chorus of shared values that, when joined together, resonate like nothing the world has ever heard. Steve Hartman on the road in Louisville, Kentucky.
Now Steve Hartman on the road with the story of a young man, a beautiful mind, and the key that unlocked it.
Like most people with autism, 19-year-old Viraj Dehanda of Brookline, Massachusetts, came into this world disguised as a typical baby, until about a year and a half.
There were a lot of milestones he was missing.
His dad, Sumit Dehanda.
First the gap is just a little, then it's bigger, then it's like a chasm. And now you're starting to hear from the doctors, well, he's going to need care for the rest of his life. He's never going to be able to communicate.
And you believed all that?
I had to. Nothing would suggest it was going to be otherwise.
Sumit, a single dad who raised his son alone, spent Viraj's first 14 years trying to teach him his numbers, ABCs, basic stuff, and nothing seemed to stick. At least, not that he could tell, because Viraj also has apraxia, a neurological disorder.
That's why Viraj can't speak or control his fingers enough to type, with the exception of his right thumb. His dad figured out he could type with that. And once Viraj had a way to communicate, boy, did he communicate. What was it like having everyone think you were mentally disabled all those years?
He typed his answers, unassisted.
Frustrating. And I desperately wanted the world to know that I had a fully functional brain.
Actually, it's well beyond fully functional. In less than 3 years, Viraj went from basic math to calculus.
I'm pretty sure it's right.
Scored 35 out of 36 on his ACT, and just got accepted to the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, one of the most prestigious universities in the world.
What was it like when you found out you got accepted into MIT?
I was ecstatic. Getting into MIT didn't just feel like a personal victory for me, but a breakthrough for the entire non-speaking autistic community.
Do you think there are other kids like you out there, really bright, but no one knows it?
Absolutely. I'm not that special. I just have the tools and the support needed to demonstrate my intelligence.
People on the autism spectrum are sometimes called special. But in many cases, we still don't know just how special they are. Steve Hartman, on the road, in Brookline, Massachusetts.
The amusement park carousel was inspired by a device designed to help French soldiers train for jousting matches without tiring their horses. Centuries later, the carousel is helping an American soldier battle his demons. Here's Steve Hartman on the road.
During the height of the Vietnam War, if you were stationed here at Marine Outpost Con Tien, it was like a death sentence.
Emergency medevac, ASAP.
Was there a worse place you could have been?
Not then. It just seemed like a matter of time for everybody.
Scott Harrison, then a 19-year-old corporal, says he got through those dark days thanks, in no small part, to a music box like this one. His sister sent it to him, and during breaks in the fighting, he used to hold it tight to his ear.
And I would close my eyes and I would think of a carousel in a mountain meadow.
A carousel?
A carousel in a mountain meadow. An image totally opposite of where people are trying to kill each other.
And it was always the same image?
Yeah.
Over and over?
Yeah.
Scott says that delicate tinkling of a simpler time lowered his adrenaline and tempered the brutality. Eventually, he was wounded, evacuated, and reintegrated into civilian life.
Scott left Vietnam in 1968, but the war never left him. He battled PTSD with alcohol, tried living alone on a boat in the ocean, but nothing worked. And that's when he circled back to that carousel vision, that one he conjured so long ago.
I thought that if I could start actually making that vision come true, it would keep me on an even keel and make me happier.
So he bought a broken down carousel and for the next 26 years carved brand new animals for it. Today, here in Nederland, Colorado, in a mountain valley just like the one he envisioned, you'll find a carousel like none you've ever seen. The Carousel of Happiness is a nonprofit, and over the past 15 years, it has delighted more than 1 million people and profoundly changed at least one.
Just to go to that carousel and see everybody having such a great time is good medicine for me. Because I started out trying to treat myself. And then it just changed into something that I could do for others.
The healing power of compassion. It's what makes the world go round. Steve Hartman on the road in Nederland, Colorado.
Steve Hartman went on the road in search of the highest point in one of the flattest places under the sun.
Not since early explorers came here to Florida in search of the fountain of youth has there been a crazier quest than that of 49-year-old Andrew Carr. The amateur climber and professional French horn player admits he's obsessed.
We all have things that grab us, you know, and I found myself just charmed by this.
Andrew is what they call a county high pointer. These are people who try to climb to the highest point of every county in a given state, typically Colorado. Andrew spent some time there doing it. But then took a teaching job in Tampa, which got him wondering, could he climb Florida's high points?
Unfortunately, Florida makes Kansas look like Kilimanjaro. It's arguably the flattest state in the nation. Doesn't have any high points, really. But if you want to get technical, topographical, and you are truly desperate for adventure, it can be done.
And Andrew Carr is doing it. Using maps and apps and good old-fashioned sight lines,
I feel like we're going up.
Andrew pinpoints every peak.
This is potentially the Mount Everest of Union County.
This one was in a well-manicured public place, but other county high points are deep in the woods or on private property.
Yeah, I think that tree over there is it.
In this case, the home of Debbie Mitchell.
Do you think it's at all strange that somebody drove all the way from Tampa to stand in your yard? Okay.
And this isn't even his most absurd ascent.
Pinellas County, Countryside Mall, front door of JCPenney's, I think, is a strong contender. You know, so I bought a shirt at that one. So.
Sir Edmund Hillary, he is not. But Andrew says, so what? And today, 2 years after our story first aired, he can now boast to hitting the high points in every one of Florida's 67 counties. The last one, a whopping 345-foot ascent of the highest hill in the state.
On any adventure, and also in life in general, you have to make the most of wherever you are.
Maybe there's a lot more adventures out there waiting for people than they realize.
Absolutely, and every peak is equal.
Every peak is equal, he says, because attitude trumps altitude. Whether you're conquering Colorado's Front Range or just Debbie's front yard.
Could I go up here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Steve Hartman on the road, high above Florida.
Steve Hartman has an update on an on-the-road story, a success story.
You want a Whopper with cheese?
At this Burger King in Decula, Georgia, 18-year-old Michael Baker is known for his whopper of a work ethic. Shows up early, stays late, and looks at every shift like it's a privilege.
I like helping people and not expecting anything back from me. That's just me.
So you'd be working at Burger King whether you got paid or not?
Yeah. I knew like all the good I put out here was gonna come back to me somehow.
It's amazing how it worked out.
Yes, sir.
This is the story of how that karma came to be.
Michael McKenna Quayerick Baker.
As we first reported a couple months ago, it was graduation night. Michael left the ceremony and dropped by Burger King for a late meal. And that's when he noticed his colleagues were absolutely swamped with orders.
At this point, most kids would have just been glad they had the night off and been on their way. But instead, Michael did what Michael does.
I wasn't even clocked in. I just put gloves on and said, what y'all need help with, basically.
So, with his sash and medals still draped around his neck, Michael hopped on the line. The whole thing caught on camera by a customer who couldn't believe her eyes.
There's not a lot of people who are like that.
This is Maria Mendoza.
13 years of school. You graduate. The last thing I would think is somebody go to work.
Maria was so impressed, She posted the video online and started a crowdfunding campaign to reward the kid for his integrity and dedication. Today, 2 months after our story first aired, the fund is at more than $230,000. Michael has enrolled at Gwinnett Technical College to pursue his dream of becoming a master auto mechanic and owning his own shop. All proof that his mother, Demisha, was right.
I'm so proud of him.
When she taught him to always work hard, even when you think no one is watching. Because you never know when someone is. Steve Hartman, on the road in Decula, Georgia.
Now Steve Hartman goes on the road to somewhere in the middle of nowhere and finds a welcome mat.
If you take a ferry to Isle of Hope, an island community way off the coast of Maine, you could visit the gift shop, the general store, and, well, that's it. Just the general store and the gift shop. There are literally no other businesses on the island.
So people who live out here are resilient, they're creative.
And, as we first reported last year, they are few. Too few, according to Bob Olney, president of the Isle of Hope Community Development Corporation.
And it's essential that we continue to attract families.
So, a couple years ago, this community of about 50 year-round residents made a post, hoping to woo a new family. They were careful not to oversell the place. Though it's not everyone's cup of tea, who knows? It may very well be yours. And they got a taker. A young family from central Massachusetts.
Ready?
Dakota Waters, his son Flynn, wife Hannah, and their baby Amelia moved here.
Our whole family thought we were psychotic. They're like a remote island in the middle of the ocean.
Had you been on an island before?
Nope, never even been on the ocean.
And yet, here they live, the newest members of a dying breed.
Uh-oh.
At one point, there were about 300 communities out here on Maine's most isolated islands. Now, just over a dozen remain. And keeping those alive will require a new breed of frontiersmen, folks who value solitude over Starbucks and really don't mind a little adversity.
People have traded the good life for a convenient one, and convenience isn't always the best.
To that point, the Waters raise some of their own food and work multiple jobs.
You want to pet your chickens?
Dakota does plumbing, lawn maintenance. The old landlubber even works on a lobster boat. It's a lot of work, but Dakota says it's well worth it.
There we go! We have so much more bonding time with the kids. It's undescribably wholesome.
It's now been a year since our visit. The Waters survive the winter and say they continue to enjoy all of Isle of Hope's simple pleasures. Dakota and Hannah also wanted me to share some news that even their closest friends and family don't know. Until now. The baby is due in March.
You think you're here for good?
Yeah.
I'm not moving my stuff off this rock again. It was too hard to get it here.
Sounds like the general store may need to stock up on diapers. Steve Hartman, way off the road on Isle of Hope, Maine.
It has been more than 80 years since retired Colonel Arnold Gabriel took an enlistment oath to defend his country during World War II. And to this day, he remains a man of his word. Here's Steve Hartman on the road.
At 100 years old, just tying your own laces is an accomplishment. But a few weeks ago, Arnold Gabriel of Arlington, Virginia, got suited up for something much more impressive. This retired Air Force colonel was once conductor of the U.S. Air Force Band. Under his leadership, the band became internationally renowned. One of his biggest fans, this guy, Bruce Moss, conductor of the Wheaton Municipal Band in Wheaton, Illinois. Bruce even invited Colonel Gabriel to be a guest conductor once.
He did not know me. He did not know the band. But he fell in love with the band over time and kept coming back.
And on one of those subsequent visits, Bruce said to Colonel Gabriel, who was in his 70s at the time, "You look so good, I bet you'll still be conducting at 100. Gabriel said,
I fully intend to. And when Bruce heard that, he saw an opportunity too good to pass up.
So I went home, wrote a contract, and mailed it to him.
Making him sign that he would come and conduct on his 100th birthday.
Yes. He said, of course, if I don't make it to 100, this contract's null and void, but don't count on it.
His health is declining, and he can't travel anymore. But he was determined to honor his commitment.
Your word is your bond. If you sign a contract, you have to fulfill it. Yeah. No question about it.
And that's why, last month, remotely, he struck up the band one last time.
It felt like I was there on stage with them.
Even at 100, he kept perfect time. But more importantly, he kept his word. Steve Hartman, CBS News, on the road.
While many are getting to the bottom of their summer reading lists, a new study finds that daily reading for enjoyment has declined by 40% over the last 20 years. That disheartening statistic, however, does not apply to the book lover Steve Hartman profiles in tonight's On the Road.
This is one of my favorites.
After their father died at the age of 92, John and Marcy Pelzer discovered something in his stuff. A list. A very long list.
Every book he read is on that list.
Every book.
From 1962 to 2023.
The Peace Corps is open to qualified American citizens over 18 years of age.
Dan Pelzer was in the Peace Corps when he started the list. And over the next 6 decades, his whale-sized appetite for books took him on a journey through Michener and Kerouac and Homer. From that Scarlet Letter A to Zachary Taylor, he learned about everything from saints to sinners, from prayer to pray. 3,599 books total.
That would be like reading every book on these shelves, both sides of the aisle, around the corner, all the way down the second row to here. So many books, just a list of all the titles is a book in itself. 109 pages, single-spaced, listing every single book he read.
When I look through the list, it seems like a microcosm of his life.
He wanted to learn about the world and learn about other people.
Dan borrowed almost all his books from here, the Columbus, Ohio Public Library. And when the library staff heard about Dan's list, they decided to share it on social media.
To honor Dan, we went through every title in his collection and made it available in one list. So the next time you need inspiration, perhaps you can find it from Dan.
Columbus Library CEO Lauren Hagen.
The response was just incredible.
Do people come in and check out the books that he read?
Oh, absolutely. People are intentionally going up to the displays, and the traffic to the social media posts is in the millions.
Dan Pelzer wasn't an academic, just a humble social worker and dad, who is now becoming one of the country's most popular bibliophiles.
I love that it's perpetuating the conversation about who my dad was, because he was just such a fun, caring, intelligent, quirky, unique guy.
An epilogue to a life story that continues to be a real page-turner. Steve Hartman, On the Road, in Columbus, Ohio.
Steve Hartman went on the road to a place where compliments are complimentary.
It's a hot summer day, and 9-year-old Ethan Wargo of Sycamore, Illinois, is making a stand. It's like a refreshment stand for your self-esteem.
Exactly.
Ethan got the idea while reading his Dogman graphic novel. In the book, one of the characters sets up an insult stand. Ethan knew that was a bad idea.
And then I just got inspired by it.
He wondered, what if he did the opposite? His compliment stand opened about a month and a half ago.
Business started out slow, what for the lack of lemonade and all. But after his dad posted about Ethan's stand on social media, customers came.
I like your bike.
To enjoy a cool drink.
I love your little vest.
Of his kind regards.
I think you look really handsome.
Like your polo.
Ethan doesn't charge for this service. Says he's only offering words. And yet people have traveled up to an hour just to hear his flattery.
I like your bracelets.
Thank you for the compliment.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
These are his parents, Brandon and Jessica Wargo.
Yeah, it's really blown up.
I was really kind of caught off guard by just how strong of a reaction people had to it.
It's just very heartwarming to them.
Have you ever looked at somebody and found it hard to come up with a compliment?
Sometimes.
On that note, what would you find about me to compliment? Don't act like you didn't hear the question. Reach deep, see what you can think of.
Well, I think I like your shoes. I think they're really nice.
That was just where you were looking at the moment.
Still, I'll take it. Because any compliment is a good compliment.
I love your son's shirt. It's really cute.
Now, if we can just figure out a way to make the world follow
Thank you.
in his shoes.
If you had that idea, I definitely would compliment you on that.
Steve Hartman, on the road.
See ya.
In Sycamore, Illinois.
Bye.
Finally tonight, tuba or not tuba? That was the question. The answer came late in life for the man Steve Hartman met on the road.
Now here's something you don't see every day. Or any day, for that matter. Unless you live in this formerly quiet neighborhood in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, where for the past year, 66-year-old Kent Broussard has been marching toward a dream. A dream he's had ever since he was a little kid, when he first saw the Louisiana State University Marching Band. Someday, he'd play tuba for them, he thought.
And that day never came.
It did not.
And at some point you get too old. You've got a job, you've got a family.
Exactly, right?
You're not going to go play for the LSU band.
No, I wasn't going to do that. No, I wasn't going to play for the LSU band when I was 50.
But 66? He thought maybe. At least that's what he told his wife, Cheryl.
And at first I was like, do they have like a senior band? I mean, I wasn't sure what he was exactly talking about. And it was the real band.
And so, this year, this retired accountant went back to school, just in the hopes of making the band. He did play tuba as a kid, but had completely forgotten. So he relearned and trained hard for what was to be a very competitive audition process. Band director Simon Halowico.
You didn't cut him any slack. He doesn't get any breaks for being a senior citizen.
No, there are no breaks when you come here. And we follow that process to get the best possible group we can.
Which is why Kent was never really expecting to make the cut. And why he was this excited when he did. Kent is now the oldest person in the band by 41 years. His first game is tomorrow, and he hopes his little dot on the field will punctuate the importance of high-stepping out of your comfort zone.
Try it. The only thing you can do is fail. Your only failure is not trying.
And your only risk, annoying the entire neighborhood. Steve Hartman, on the road, in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Finally tonight, the bride and groom exchanged their traditional I do's. But what really made the wedding special was the man who said, I will. Here's Steve Hartman on the road.
If this were a typical wedding processional, the man walking Shacole Fox down the aisle would be her father, a close relative, or even a good friend. Anyone but him.
She's a tenant of mine.
You're the landlord.
I'm the landlord.
That's the last person on earth
You're right.
I would think would walk you down the aisle.
I wouldn't have thought in a million years.
Shacole works as a makeup artist. Her studio space here in Cincinnati, Ohio, is owned by 79-year-old Gil Pulliam, a no-nonsense guy.
Pay the rent on time and take care of the building.
And yet, as you'll soon see, he can be incredibly tender-hearted.
Oh, you look gorgeous.
Shacole never knew her father,
She thought she didn't care. Can't miss something you never had. But as her wedding day approached, Shakol says she started to feel a void.
When I thought about who would walk me down the aisle, trying to figure out what that looks like, the thought of it was like...
surprisingly painful, she said. Of course, Shakol never told her landlord that, but he knew her family situation, and he had a gut feeling.
So I went back up to ask Shakol if I could escort her down the aisle. And she said, yes, 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 and on and on and on.
She got married a couple months ago.
The music's playing. I'm getting ready to walk down the aisle. He grabbed my hand so tight, and it was a really good feeling.
Still is?
Yeah, it still is. Like a wound had been healed in my heart.
Congratulations.
Shakol now has a husband, Victor. But she says she also added another family member that day, a father figure who stepped up and stood beside, like all good dads do.
I love you too.
Steve Hartman, On the Road, in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Finally, tonight in Kemah, Texas, the long arm of the law has legs to match. Steve Hartman found the evidence on the road.
Either I got left in the dryer too long, or that guy is big.
So you grew 7 inches in 1 year.
One summer.
One summer?
One summer.
At 7'3", 24-year-old Jordan Wilmore has always had lofty goals that he kept mostly to himself.
It was hard for me to share like my dreams or, you know, the stuff I wanted to do growing up because it was, well, you just got to focus on basketball because it can make you millions.
And so for years he did focus on basketball, played in college and the pros overseas, just like friends and family had always insisted.
Ever since he first hit his head on a door jamb, people have been telling Jordan he should play professional basketball. But other people can't dictate your dreams. And basketball was never his passion.
I mean, I've always liked to help other people. That's just who I am. I just would do anything to help out whoever I can. There was nothing really else I wanted to do.
Which is why Jordan is now almost certainly America's tallest police recruit. Once he graduates, he'll go to work in Kemah, Texas, where Chief Raymond Garavay is already preparing for his arrival.
Hopefully it fits.
Scouring the country for a uniform big enough and a cruiser that won't crush him.
Knees are touching the dash. It's very, very tight.
But Chief Garavay says he's willing to make any accommodation necessary for an officer this dedicated.
If you got a phone call tomorrow, the NBA, $1 million, or stay here and be a cop in Texas.
Stay here.
You want to think about it?
No, I'll stay here.
He wants to serve. He truly wants to make a difference. I'm proud that he chose the thin blue line. I am.
Devotion to community. It makes you stand tall, no matter what your height. Steve Hartman, On the Road, in Kemah, Texas.
Finally tonight, a pint-sized fan makes a big league play with the Phillies at home. And Steve Hartman, On the Road.
As you can tell from the mad scrambles, just about everyone at a Major League Baseball game wants a foul ball.
Oh my God!
And 9-year-old Jamison Pennings is no exception.
I would just be super happy.
In fact, Jamison so wanted a ball, earlier this month, his parents bought tickets to a Philadelphia Phillies game along the third base line, down near where the ball girl sometimes tosses foul balls into the crowd. And sure enough, 5th inning, that's exactly what happened. Parents James and Eve Pennings.
He sat and he cherished it, and at one point, Dad, is that where the bat hit? Oh yeah, that's where the bat hit.
And you thought he would cherish that forever?
Forever, yeah.
But forever only lasted a few innings.
I'm still astounded.
I'm very proud of him. No.
Unbeknownst to his parents, earlier in the game, Jamison overheard a woman talking to that same ball girl. The woman was hoping to get a foul ball for her mother, Donna Morey, who was at the game celebrating her 80th birthday. Unfortunately, getting anyone on the field to toss you a ball is a charm offensive that heavily favors the young. Jamison knew the odds of an 80-year-old getting a ball were slim to none. So he walked over to her, treasure in hand.
I was so shocked. I just didn't know what to say. It was unbelievable to me. It really was. And I said, "Why are you giving it to me?"
I thought, she is way older and she can't come to many more games and I can go to more and get many more balls. So
Donna accepted the gift.
It symbolizes goodness in this world.
And Jamison is so glad she did.
So good to see you again.
Because he says he's actually happier without it.
Part of me says this doesn't make sense, though. You had a ball, you gave it away, now you're left with nothing.
True, but I will leave feeling really good about myself. So, does it really matter that I left without a ball?
How's that for a game-winning sacrifice?
I have a gift for you. Let me go grab it.
Steve Hartman on the road
For the ball.
in Philadelphia.
Thank you.
The team was down on its luck, in bad need of change, when along came a kitty catalyst. Here's Steve Hartman on the road.
To show power and dominance, a lot of colleges have these mascots, live animals they use to fire up the crowd at football games. And Bowling Green State University in Ohio is no exception. Only their warrior guide is less frightening beast and more fancy feast.
Just little sneezes. He's got some allergies.
Oh, don't we all?
Meet Pudge, Bowling Green's 3-year-old Persian Patronus. Pudge attends every home game. His mere presence, like catnip for these dogged fans.
They're like Simba. Yeah, the crowd's like,
The players say Pudge has become a phenomenon.
There's thousands of people there just to see a cat.
For the cat?
100%.
oh yeah, he's quite the celeb.
People love him, and I guess I can't blame him because I love him too.
George Carlson is Pudge's owner and Bowling Green's long snapper. George first brought Pudge to the locker room earlier this season. At the time, he says everyone was in the dumps about some injuries. And he thought what this team needs is his cat. I mean, he'd seen Pudge work miracles before in his own life.
I mean, for me, he played a really big role.
Last year, George lost his mom, Kristen, to ovarian cancer.
It was very tough for me, especially living in a single apartment. I could get really down, you'd spiral really easily. But the thing is I could come home to this cat who's just funny looking, he's slightly odd.
And it helped?
It helped a lot. I just think the whole process would have been harder without him.
And it was that belief in the healing power of the purr that brought Pudge to the team and now to his legion of fans. Home game attendance is up almost 60% this year. That's the largest increase of any Division I school in the country. No doubt due in part to the long snapper and the long napper, who have given everyone in this community reason to cheer. Well, almost everyone. Steve Hartman on the road in Bowling Green, Ohio.
We end the week with a lesson in sportsmanship and integrity, brought to us by Steve Hartman on the road.
All right, girls, everybody in the middle.
The Academy High School girls basketball team in Oklahoma City returned to the court this week. Their first practice since last year's division championship, where they hit a buzzer beater that both ended the game and started it all.
The whole season was building up to that moment.
And it was like one of the best feelings. And it was really exciting just to like see our hard work finally pay off.
It was the team's first championship ever. Or was it? Coach Brendan King.
As you're celebrating, there's a part of you that's wondering.
Right. As soon as I walked out of the locker room, my stomach kind of turned into knots, and I said, I'm going to need to know if we really won this game or not.
So, what he did that night, and again this week at our request, was go home and watch the game tape. At one point, there had been some confusion about the scoreboard, so just to be sure, he recounted every basket and discovered his team actually lost.
It really tore me to pieces. It really did.
But technically, it didn't matter.
League rules say once a game is done, the score is the score. There's no changing it. But Coach King decided to tell his team anyway. And when they heard what had happened, the consensus was unanimous.
It would have felt wrong, I think, to have taken the trophy regardless.
Yeah.
It was a really good teaching moment for us to just be like, this is not the whole point.
Which is why this academy team made the unprecedented decision to appeal their own crowning victory, ask it be taken away and awarded to their competition, Apache High School. The league agreed, and Coach King hand-delivered the championship plaque.
Just really special that he came out and did that.
Not everyone would have done that.
Apache coach Amy Merriweather says her team is glad to have the title, but even happier for the hope that came with it.
He showed us, there are still good people in this world. It's something we'll always remember.
Champions all. Steve Hartman on the road in Oklahoma City.
Finally tonight, the images of bittersweet homecomings as the Gaza peace plan went into effect stirred the memory of a woman Steve Hartman met on the road.
This week, we saw joy on a scale most of us will never know. On a scale most of us hope we never know. Because joy like this only comes after unimaginable pain. It has been a week of whiplash emotion that will likely never be forgotten.
Seeing the reunions, it brought up a lot of memories.
68-year-old Lori Sturm Kitching was just 10 when her father, Air Force Major Robert Sturm, was captured by the North Vietnamese. He spent 5.5 years in a prison camp before being released and returned. Their family reunion in 1973 is seen here in this iconic Pulitzer Prize-winning photo. In the center there, that's Lori, levitated.
There's no walking. This is running. This is...
She struggled for the right word, but settled on a good one.
It's instinct inside.
Instinct. These reactions cut to the core of our humanity. We saw it this week on both sides of the border. We've seen the same in other wars, at other times, throughout history, no matter what the cause people fight for or what language they squeal their delight. These reunions show the craving for love and family is universal.
After something like that, do you ever go back to taking your loved one for granted?
Never. I'll never forget the day that he came home, and every time that I see him is the same joy that he is home with us.
The same joy these people now carry. That blessing of a second chance. The only consolation prize any war has ever offered. Steve Hartman, CBS News, on the road.
Finally here tonight, Brianna and Zach got married the other day. Second time for both. Yes, they were married once before, just 9 days earlier. Steve Hartman explains on the road.
Okay, go. Oh, that one's cute.
When Brianna Lenoy and her fiance, Zach Clapp, started planning their wedding, they had a hard time whittling down the guest list.
Aww.
Brianna especially.
I gracious.
She's principal of the Buffalo Academy of Science in Buffalo, New York.
Whoa, that's so cool.
And she kept telling people she wanted to invite the whole school.
Bye. I definitely mentioned it multiple times.
Every kid in the school at your wedding.
Absolutely, yeah. They're awesome.
Obviously, this wasn't just lip service. She really did want them there. But since that would be impractical, the staff and students here got together, in secret, to create the next best thing.
We all love you so much that we're giving you a surprise wedding.
A couple weeks ago, just a few days before her actual wedding,
Are you kidding me right now?
the staff dressed Brianna in a makeshift wedding dress and led her to the courtyard.
When I exited the building and saw all the students gathered there, I was blown away.
Yeah, it was amazing. Like, she couldn't stop smiling. It was like a wish come true.
The couple in white stood before more than 400 and tickled pink.
I do.
The kids saw them exchange vows.
May I have the rings?
And candy ring pops. No one in the audience objected to the union.
I pronounce you husband and wife forever.
But a few of the students did tell me that Zach is not Miss Lenoy's one true love.
You may now have the bride. She loves the kids more than her husband. What?
That's what I said. I said, what?
We're gonna have to ask her.
The kids are of the opinion that you love them more than your husband.
I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do.
Confirm or
No
deny?
I love my students more than anything. And I just hope that our students feel as loved as I felt in that moment.
Now, everyone, it's time to dance. Here we go.
Brianna says the ceremony was everything she ever wanted. Although if she ever decides to renew her vows, here's something to consider.
She was one of the beautifulest brides, but next time they need some cake.
Steve Hartman, on the road.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing. You're very serious.
In Buffalo.
Finally, this Halloween, after kids crossed the thin blue line with some long white paper, the police decided they had to respond, and Steve Hartman went along on the road.
When the sun sets in Heflin, Alabama, the night rolls in. Every Halloween season, the local high school kids TP a few houses. But this year, they have upped their game, raining white on just about every business, too. These are the ringleaders.
Why?
It's just fun.
Yeah, adrenaline rush.
And then you don't get caught, and it's like, this is fantastic.
It was fantastic. Until they made the mistake of hitting this building, police headquarters. Chief Ross McLawn.
It was up on the roof. It was the spare cars we had in the parking lot.
You had to do something.
We're going to have to do something, yeah.
After the attack on his station, the chief posted this on social media. We think that rolling the police department was a little uncalled for. He said, "We know who you are." And that he planned to take them down, quote, full out, tactical, ninja style.
I have a list of houses we will go to. We're going to park down the road and walk to the target.
The operation was supported by officers from multiple jurisdictions, all armed to the teeth with toilet tissue. That's right. Chief McLawn figured rather than come down hard on the kids, he would go squeezably soft. It was an unusual approach to policing, to say the least. But he did get permission from the parents in advance. And he says he has his reasons for encouraging the kids like this.
As long as they're doing this or not getting in trouble doing something else, I haven't seen any type of drugs or alcohol involved. You know, I think they're spending all their money on toilet paper.
So really, you have nothing to hide.
No.
But definitely have something to say.
I just think it's good, clean fun for everyone, and it's been great for our whole town, the police department, and everybody.
And it brings a sense of community. It's just really great.
In fact, Heflin's toilet paper war has so tickled this town that businesses are now supporting the troops by putting out free ammunition. And as for the mess, the kids are taking care of that. by selling insurance.
They call it the toilet paper rapid response team. So if you buy their insurance and your yard gets rolled, the youth group will come clean it up for you.
So you can buy protection?
You can buy protection.
You've got like a mob problem in town.
Absolutely, yeah.
But worth it, he says, because this is so much fun for kids of all ages.
I'm just rallying everybody. That way we can hit the next house. It looks beautiful from down there.
Steve Hartman on the road in Heflin, Alabama.
Finally tonight, she's barely the size of a pollywog, but she went big to help the axolotl. Steve Hartman met her on the road.
Why do you think that would matter for humans?
Professor Jessica Whited leads a team of researchers at Harvard University, all studying the axolotl, that salamander with a superpower to regrow body parts.
And we want to find out the secrets, like the actual molecular secrets of how they regenerate limbs.
So that people could regrow limbs?
That is the hope someday, yep.
A hope that faded a few months ago when her team lost almost all its government funding. It was dark times until the day a donor stepped forward.
It definitely had a positive effect on everyone in the lab. Everybody was just flabbergasted.
Flabbergasted not by the size of the donation, but rather the size of the donor. 6-year-old Marianne Cullen of Springfield, Massachusetts, is obsessed with axolotls.
There's more to them than just being cute. They can grow back any limb.
And, she says, they're endangered.
And there's way other animals that need saving, but this one is my destiny to save.
Parents Kat and Rob Cullen.
And I think she took it kind of to the next level, honestly.
She said, I want to raise money for axolotls.
So, to support conservation and research, Marianne built a PowerPoint and held a fundraiser, made $1,000 for the lab.
But why is all this your responsibility?
Not a lot of people get how important it is to save this animal.
And therefore, you have to take the lead.
I feel like I do.
Hi, Marianne.
The courts have since reinstated the lab's funding. No telling if that will stand.
I'm going to show you my office.
But regardless, Professor Whited says Marianne's contribution will always
Aren't they cute?
keep her going.
Sometimes you know who's fighting for you in life, and sometimes you don't. And that's always the time when you're just like pause and be like, wow. So there's a bone in here, right?
And certainly, in the world of axolotl research, that kind of encouragement is worth an arm and another arm.
And eventually it goes back and gets the whole thing.
Steve Hartman on the road in Cambridge, Massachusetts.
We end the week with a local election that did not get much, if any, national attention, but it did catch the eye of Steve Hartman. Here's a teachable moment on the road.
For being just 19, Cameron Drew of Surrey County, Virginia is ambitious. Some might say overly ambitious.
Hi, I'm Cameron Drew, candidate for Surrey County Board of Supervisors.
In last week's election, the young liberal took on the establishment.
I wanted this job because I knew I could serve the people. I knew I could be an advocate for the youth and be an advocate for our county.
It's a confidence he credits to an old high school teacher.
My favorite government teacher.
Kenneth Bell taught Cameron civics.
Y'all know this fella, right?
Mr. Bell says he always knew Cameron would make a great politician.
A wonderful young man. He would have been formidable against any opponent against whom he would have run.
That guidance has helped me and prepared me so much for this moment.
But to get elected, Cameron would have to defeat the incumbent, a beloved lifelong resident and conservative, a local high school teacher, a civics high school teacher. You're the opponent.
Yeah.
That's right. Cameron challenged his own mentor. Not uncomfortable at all, they say.
Because he was very receptive. He was we were both respectful about it, so it was never an awkward moment.
In fact, during the campaign, Mr. Bell says he found himself defending Cameron, especially on the age issue.
Yes, he's young, but he's really invested in trying to make a difference.
You know, this isn't how campaigning's supposed to go.
Yeah, I know.
You're supposed to put down the other guy.
Yeah, well, you have to be a teacher, I think, to really know this and to see somebody that you help to shape and mold take this brave step, not knowing what's going to happen.
In the end, Cameron won by 8 votes, to the delight of both candidates.
And what'd you say?
Congratulations, and I'm so proud of you. And I love you.
And I'm just lost for words because of the fact that he's been so gracious.
A glimmer of hope, perhaps, for what our politics could be.
I pray that all of my opponents are like this.
Steve Hartman.
Not gonna happen.
On the road in Surrey County, Virginia.
We end tonight with a man who spent his career fighting crime, and now in retirement he's found a new calling, fighting grime. And as Steve Hartman tells us, he's doing loads of good.
For 45-year-old Wade Milliard of Frederick, Maryland, it's just another day of driving around his washing machines, stopping where needed, and doing the laundry of homeless people.
This is just something that they don't have, you know.
Wade used to work as a canine officer. He's retired, was done with policing, but didn't want to stop helping people.
I wanted to serve.
But no idea it would be this.
Correct. Not until about 1.5 years ago.
It was the spring of 2024. He was still on the beat and had just responded to a domestic dispute at this homeless camp. And as he was wrapping things up with the couple, he says he heard a voice. Not sure where it came from. He believes it was God. And it said, quote, "Ask them about their laundry."
Like out of nowhere.
Ask them about their laundry?
Yeah.
Did you ask for God to repeat that?
Yeah, he spoke pretty clear the first time.
Clearly.
So
you did it?
I did.
They answered, "We do our laundry in the creek."
And then I just kind of took it from there.
So, using his own money and donations, he built out this bus and started Fresh Step Laundry, a free fluff and fold service. Today, he does dozens of loads a week.
But it's good that you're taking care of yourself, too.
For people like Chris Washington.
If you're clean, you just feel better, you know, you feel like a little bit more proud of yourself.
And that's the thing, you're doing it to maybe give them a little bit of boost.
Wade has willfully taken on a very unpleasant and humbling task. This is like the Pope washing feet. This is Jesus with a Maytag. And Wade says when you feel a calling like that, there's not a sour smell in the world that can steal your sweet sense of purpose.
If having clean clothes can help them just a little bit, then my mission is fulfilled.
Steve Hartman, on the road in Frederick, Maryland.
Finally here tonight, Lowe's home improvement stores once used the slogan, "Do it right for less." But this is not about that. This is about the time Lowe's did it right for Francine. Here's Steve Hartman on the road.
At this Lowe's in Richmond, Virginia, manager Mike Seida has always had a favorite employee.
She wasn't quite as friendly in the very beginning, but after a little while, she found her way into a lot of people's hearts, I guess you could say.
Cats can do that. And for nearly a decade, this former stray named Francine was a constant presence in the garden department. She became a local celebrity until one day, a few months ago, when Francine vanished. Wayne Schneider was Francine's primary caretaker.
I just had a gut feeling that she was gone.
He figured Francine must have wandered onto a freight truck, one bound for this massive Lowe's distribution center in North Carolina. If so, she could have been anywhere here, hiding in the piles of pallets or tucked in the rows of trucks.
Maybe they opened the trailer up and she got out. We would never find her.
But Wayne says he had to try. So he solicited the help of warehouse managers Preston Bullock and Taylor Tacanet.
As long as they had fight in them, we had fight in us to help support.
Our mission's to solve problems, and that's exactly what we took it as. We've got a missing family member out here, so we're going to jump on top of it.
Really pulled out all the stops, tried to lure Francine with fancy feast, brought in a thermal drone to fly over the facility, even got a high-end 360-degree camera. But still, no luck. Until this image. Grainy, but clearly Francine. And once they knew where she was, they got her.
It was just, I could have cried, I'll be honest.
I was so overjoyed. Our tears were just coming down my face that we had found her.
Mike and Wayne loaded her up and drove her home immediately. Then rolled out the blue carpet for their star employee's triumphant return.
It feels good to see her back where she belongs.
Today, Francine is back to her old routine, prowling the store and posing for customers. Proof that the heart of any workplace is the personnel. Steve Hartman, on the road in Richmond, Virginia.
We end the week with a story about the healing power of gumbo.
When paired with a heaping portion of kindness. Here's Steve Hartman on the road.
At the Shrimp Basket restaurant in Pensacola, Florida, one customer has been a constant. For lunch, he always ordered a cup of gumbo, light on the rice, hold the cracker. And again at dinner, cup of gumbo, light rice, no cracker. It was that every day, twice a day, for 10 years.
Appreciate you.
Chef Donnell Stallworth says you can set your clock by this guy.
Mr. Hicks don't miss no day. We open the doors up. Mr. Hicks here to greet us.
78-year-old Charlie Hicks was omnipresent until last September, when he wasn't. Didn't show up for several days.
I knew then something was wrong.
Fearing the worst, Donnell left work in the middle of his shift and drove to Charlie's apartment. He knocked on the door repeatedly, but no answer.
And right when I was going to turn, I heard a voice just like, help. And then I opened the door up. He was laying on the ground, and I didn't know what his conditions was. That was the scariest part right there.
We don't know how long Charlie'd been lying there, maybe a few days. He was severely dehydrated and had 2 broken ribs. But thanks to Donnell, he would survive. And thanks to the staff at the Shrimp Basket, he would never be alone again.
They started by bringing his gumbo to the hospital. Then they went out and got him a new apartment right next to the restaurant, so the employees could always keep a watchful eye. They got Charlie new appliances, fixed up the place just right, all so that this week, 3 months after the accident,
you're late.
Charlie could pick up with his routine right where he left off.
There we go.
He sat back at his favorite table and ordered his favorite dish. Nothing had changed, except their bond.
I'm glad to have you back though, buddy.
We made a connection. We made a connection.
He's their uncle, he's their grandfather, he's their best friend. He all in one.
Is it nice having him right next door now?
Oh man, that's the best thing going. That's the best thing going.
Donnell Stallworth, chef at a family restaurant. Emphasis on family.
I'll be over more.
Steve Hartman.
More often than you like.
On the road in Pensacola, Florida.
Finally tonight, as you've no doubt heard, Santa Claus is coming to town. In fact, he's already been to Baltimore. Steve Hartman met him on the road.
Let me go see this next patient.
Dr. Michael Zollicoffer's next patient came in for congestion, and she will definitely breathe easier this holiday season.
Good.
Thanks to Dr. Z's new helper.
I'm Dr. Claus.
As in Santa Claus.
One little prescription that I think may make your Christmas just a little bit better.
His medicine? 4 crisp $100 bills.
Look at that. I don't even feel congested anymore.
Yeah. That's why I'm here.
As you may have guessed, Dr. Claus is actually Secret Santa, that anonymous wealthy businessman who every year goes around the country handing out hundreds of $100 bills to random strangers. This year, he decided to come to Baltimore, Maryland.
Let's listen to my sweetie.
After seeing a story I did about Dr. Z. about how he never takes a real vacation and doesn't even care if you pay or not.
Now, I'm gonna see you no matter what. You walk in that door, you will be seen. You bring your grandma with you, I'm gonna see her too.
Yeah, I mean, what an amazing individual. A physician who practices medicine the way it was meant to be practiced.
So, as a thank you to Dr. Z for all he's done, Secret Santa made him an elf.
Put those in your pocket.
Loaded him up with Benjamins.
You'll watch what I do.
And then together, they set out to just give away about $10,000.
Oh my goodness, is it real?
Yes, baby.
They found people inside grocery stores and outside food pantries.
I see you, brother.
They helped total strangers and lifelong customers.
Look at this. This was my patients right here.
Okay.
I'm Secret Santa.
I love it.
Dr. Z has always been a giver, but he says this felt way different. This going out into the community for the sole purpose of spreading unconditional love.
It's too good. And that's the beauty of what this is about. It wasn't just the money. It's beyond description, folks. It's beyond description.
This is a senior center, right? Yeah.
At their last stop, they met a guy named John Hancock.
It means a lot when you can help people.
John said he planned to use his gift to feed hungry people in his building, as he's been known to do.
Oh my goodness.
I know Dr. Z said that spreading unconditional love is a feeling beyond description.
Thank you, bro.
But moments like this
Thank you, bro.
sum it up pretty well.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Steve Hartman, on the road in Baltimore.
Oh my God.